in the top tier develop their games. Those are some of the highlights that we have in this show. So let's kick it off with some football, and we start with the Football Kenya Federation President, that is Nick Mwendwa. Earlier on in the week, he came out saying that GOR have been crowned the winners of the Kenya Premier League. This, Nick Mwendwa said this, of course, citing clauses in the Federation's rules and regulations book. Let's take a look at what he had to say.
So this should not seem like news, yes. But I know you want to treat it as news, so I will go there because I know that's why you remained here. I want to be clear. We began the season with rules and regulations. For example, we began a season which says if you are red carded, how many matches you will not play. In the same rules, we stated what shall happen in the event of this kind of a situation. So there are regulations in place. We will use those regulations. If you look at 2.6 of our football regulations, you can go to the FKF website. You will see that we are clear that any league that has not played, that has played more than 75% of matches, we go with the final standing, the current standing. If they have not played, then we go with the standing they had at 50% of the league. If not, then we cancel it. We are very clear in our regulations. We provide for it. We must follow the regulations. Like asking me, mchezaji akipewa red card, tutafanya nini? It is not a question to ask. It is there in black and white. So CAF have come to us. They are asking by 5th Tuesday next week, we have to tell them what our plan is to conclude the league, whether we shall play or not play, because they need a champion so that they can also organize their own side for the champions for inter-club competitions. So in terms of the Kenya Premier League, the NSL and Division 1, each of those leagues had not played 75% of matches. They had, however, played 50% of matches, so we shall go with the standing they had at 50% of matches. So it means, for example, that GOR are champions of the Premier League. And that is by rules and regulations of FKF. So GOR will represent Kenya at the Champions League of CAF next season. That is clear, that is concluded, it is in the regulations. All right, so I want to be very clear with that. I want to congratulate them because they have proven time and again, even in these circumstances, to lead the league. So I want to ask them to prepare because we shall forward their name next week to CAF as champions of GOR. I want to be very clear with you guys. There is no debate on this issue. There is a regulation in place, and that regulation shall be followed regardless of the situation. In the NSL, City Stars were number 1 mid-season. They shall be promoted. And whoever was number 2, regardless of the team, will be promoted. For me, I don't even look at the name. They will be promoted. Whoever was set 2 last teams, of course, Sony is gone. The other team that was number 17 shall be relegated. And the team that was number 16 shall play a playoff with number 3 that is in the NSL. In equal measure, in Division 1, the same will apply. In Division 2, the same will apply. In the regional leagues, the same will apply. This rule does not apply only for KPL. And to be clear with you journalists, your eyes are always, we have 7 tiers of leagues. This decision affects all of them. You cannot make a decision for Kenya Premier League and then you don't apply it in Division 2. These are rules for Kenyan football. They shall apply kutoka juu mpaka chini.
So if you forward the name of GOR as the champions next week, it means you will have sealed the fate of the league, of the football action?
But we are saying this, that it is not possible that the curfew the president put in place shall end on 16th of May. All right? The president might extend it, might not. Even if he didn't, we are sure that we won't be able to play football in the month of May, probably in early June. Okay, that is a given. Even you know that. That means that the 10, 11 matches that were remaining, which need at least 6 weekends, where will you fit them? Assuming we were back then. That is one. 2, players have been home for more than 2 months. They have to come back. They have to train. You cannot just pick them and put them on the pitch. You have to give them 3 weeks to train, for example. An example. If you give them 3 weeks, that takes you into July. Where do you find 5 weekends to play those matches? Do you understand? Because remember, our own regulations also say that we need to give them 60 days to start what? Before you go into the next season. So where will you find 60 days after that league so that then you can allow for proper pre-season into the next season? And if you do so, it means you will miss the deadline for CAF. You won't have a representative for the Champions League because they will do their own thing. They won't wait for you. So it is clear that as it is, fate has sealed the fate of KPL. As we know it, and as per our regulations, the Kenya Premier League shall not be played again. This is not my creation. It's a creation of COVID-19. We are just implementing rules as we had them. So there is no conversation. Once that happens, then we shall discuss with the KPL clubs what to do next, because as you know, then that opens a bigger conversation about that the contract is ending, what it means. In effect, the season ends here, effectively then the contract, because they cannot run another season. It's just in black and white. It is not hidden. I have spoken about it. I am speaking to you about it right now.
Of course, Football Kenya President Nick Mwendwa speaking to KTN exclusively about awarding Gor Mahia that title, where he said, after 50% of the games had been played, Gor Mahia deserved to be awarded the Kenya Premier League champions. And in doing so, also City Stars, that is Nairobi City Stars, being awarded the champions of the NSL. So right now, also he went on to Twitter to, give the congratulations to Gor Mahia, where different fans of football gave him his thoughts on what they